So in this video, I'll be teaching you how you can build your own web flasher tool for your custom project, using which you can flash any of the ESP board straight from your web browser and can even view the serial monitored data on the browser itself without downloading any external software, and that too completely free of cost. So being a maker and a content creator, I make a lot of open source projects on YouTube, and I also share the code files for it. Now, some of the codes for some projects are specific to particular board's package version or a particular library version, and if some subscriber try to replicate it without having same kind of files in their computer, they may land up on a couple of compiling errors. So now to solve this issue, I came up with this idea of creating web flasher for all of my projects, so that whenever next time someone try to replicate my project, they can flash the code by just click of a single button without having any kind of errors. And the best part of this thing is that it's very simple to build for absolutely free of cost for lifetime. So now let me grab my computer and set up all the things, and in the meantime, you enjoy this informative ad break. So this video is sponsored by LTM, and you must have already heard about LTM software a lot from my videos, but you may ask that, hey Sachin, I'm a student, I can't afford LTM license, or else I don't know how to use it. Well, I got a special news for you all people. So LTM came up with something really exciting for all the students in India called as LTM Student Lab, in which you can enroll for free with your university email ID, and later you'll get free access to LTM license, PCB design courses, and certification as well from LTM upon completion of the courses, which will truly highlight your resume. And the most amazing thing about using and learning LTM software is that this software is accepted globally by a lot of well-known tech companies. So if you are a student from India, you should not miss out this opportunity. Just click the link mentioned in the description right now and enroll for free for LTM Student Lab. Okay, so going back to this video, and now the first step of this complete process is to export the binary files of your custom project. So here, for example, I'm taking the code of my 2G tracker, which is basically the real-time GPS tracker project, which I uploaded recently on my channel, whose link you can find in the description of this video. And here is the code that we have used for that particular project. Now, how to export the binary files? Well, the process is very simple. First of all, make sure you have all the necessary libraries and board package version on which this particular code is tested and is it working condition. Next thing is you need to select the right board on which you want to upload this code. So in my case, the board is XIAO ESP32C3, which is already selected. So everything is good. And in case if your project requires the configuration to be selected from all these parameters, you should do that before exporting the binary files. Okay, so everything is good for me, and now I'll go to sketch and just select on export compiled binary. Now this will compile this complete sketch and export the binary files or the firmware files. It will save in the folder on which this particular code is saved in your computer. So it will take some time, so let's wait for it, and later I'll show you where those files are saved. And here, as you can see, the code is successfully compiled. And now if I take you to that folder, so here is the 2G tracker folder where the code is already saved. And inside that folder, a new folder is created automatically, which is called as build. If you go inside that folder and go inside this one, here, as you can see, it exported all the necessary files, all the binary files you can say. Okay, so with this we have successfully completed the step 1, and now for the step 2 we need to filter out the necessary binary files which are eventually be flashed onto the XIAO boards. And how to find those files? For that, we'll again come back to our Arduino IDE code, and here into settings you need to check mark these two boxes. Okay, after you do that, you just need to hit the upload button, no matter the COM port is connected with this or not. I haven't connected any of the COM ports, so it will eventually get failed, but that's okay for me. I just need to read one line from this particular output window. So let's wait for this complete process to be done, and later I'll show you that one particular line. Okay, so it is trying to upload, but it will not get uploaded, so I'll simply cancel it. And here is that one single line which ultimately help to upload the binary files into the target board, into the XIAO board, you can say. And this particular single line will let us know what are the required binary files to be flashed. So let me just show you. Okay, so here, as you can see, it all starts from this particular line. So at 0x0 address, the bootloader.bin file is need to be flashed. At 0x8000, the partition.bin file need to be flashed. At 0x8000, the boot app0 need to be flashed, and at 0x10000 the actual INO.bin need to be flashed. So that means there are 4 important binary files to be flashed. So let's just select those 4 files and save it in a separate folder. Okay, so here now what I'll do is I'll go back and create a new folder and name it as firmware. Perfect. And now let's just see which files are needed. So first is bootloader.bin. So I'll go inside this folder and search for bootloader.bin, this one. Second is partition.bin, so I'll select this as well. The third one is bootapp0.bin, so I'll select bootapp0. Now wait, let me tell you one thing. If you're not able to find that bootapp0 file in your folder, well, don't worry. Let me tell you another way how you can find that file. So for that, first you need to check out the response where the bootapp0 file was mentioned. So here is the file. So what you need to do is you need to go to this particular location in your computer, and there you can find this bootapp0 file. So if I open my file manager and I go to the same path, here I can find that file, which is this boot_app0.bin, and you can paste this file in the firmware folder. And now let's continue with this video. And last is the INO.bin. So INO.bin is here. These are the 4 files, so I'll simply copy them and we'll go back and paste them inside the firmware folder. So with this, we are done with the step 2 as well. And now for the step 3, we'll give a prompt to ChatGPT, which is already prepared by us. And by giving that prompt, it will show us all these steps or all the important files that we eventually need to upload in our GitHub account or GitHub repository, you can say. So yes, having a GitHub account is mandatory for this particular process. So let me show you that prompt and how to modify that prompt according to your project. So here, open up ChatGPT and paste this prompt, which I'll be providing in the description of this video. Now here in this particular prompt, we need to provide a couple of information to make it work for our custom bin file or custom project, you can say. So things which you need to provide are mentioned here. So first of all, you need to provide the project name. So my project name is real-time GPS tracker. Perfect. Creator or brand name, so I'll write it as techiesms. Okay. Supported board, so this is just supported for XIAO ESP32C3, which comes from the family ESP32C3. So I'll just delete other boards. And if you have any tutorial video, you can paste the link here. I'll quickly search for my video. So here is my video. I'll just copy video URL and paste it here. Perfect. And now comes the time to provide the firmware files name. Okay, so I'll provide the firmware file names one by one. So first of all, the bootloader.bin. So this is the file. So make sure you provide the exact same file name which is provided here inside the firmwares folder. Okay, and later you also need to provide the offset, or you can say the address. So this one is 0x0, which is mentioned here. So you can take the reference of this particular Arduino output window. So bootloader.bin is set to 0x0. Okay, and this should be inside inverted commas. So make sure you provide double inverted commas here. Okay, after that, for the second file, the name is, let me just check here, it is partition.bin. So I'll just copy the name of this file and paste it here. And its offset is 0x8000, which is already set. So I'll just remove the brackets. Perfect. Now the file number 3 is, let's just check it out, bootapp0.bin. So I'll just copy the name of it, provide the file name. Perfect. And the offset here is 0x E000. So I'll just remove the bracket and I'll just type E000 and remove this bracket as well. And the fourth file is the actual 2G tracker INO.bin. So I'll just copy the name of this file and I'll provide that name here. And its offset is 0x10,000, which is already written. Okay, so I do have only 4 files, so I'll just delete this extra 5th one. And yeah, we are good. We have already provided the name of all the firmware files. And I think we need to provide only these many details. And later, after providing these details, you just give this prompt to ChatGPT and let ChatGPT do all the magic for you. So yeah, after getting the prompt and waiting for a couple of seconds, the ChatGPT will give you a response like this, where it will show you the final project structure. So this is how your GitHub repository should look like. So we need to use these two files along with our actual firmware file and need to create the GitHub repository for our Flasher tool, which is ultimately the fourth step of this particular process. So let me show you how to create a GitHub repository and how to provide all these files. So to create the GitHub repository, here I opened the GitHub desktop application, which is linked to my account. So as I said previously, you need to have your GitHub account for doing this particular step. So here you just click on file, then click on new repository. Now here we need to provide the name for this repository, which is already suggested by ChatGPT. So we'll use the same name. Okay, so here as you can see, this is the name suggested by ChatGPT. So I'll simply copy this and paste it here. Later, I'll click on create repository. Now this will create a separate folder into documents and GitHub folder. Let me show you that. So in my documents, GitHub, here as you can see, a new folder is created. So now we need to add the files here. Now what kind of files we need to add? So here it is suggested that we have to add index.html and manifest.json, and the files are already provided by ChatGPT. So I'll simply copy it. So now here you need to open up a text editor. So I'll use Sublime text editor, but you can use any of the text editor of your choice, and I'll paste that file here. Later I'll save this file inside that new folder created by GitHub, which is real-time GPS tracker Flasher, and I will name this file as manifest.json. Perfect. I'll click on save button and this file is saved. Secondly, we need to add one more file, which is index.html. So I'll simply copy this. I'll create a new file, paste it here, and I will save this file into that same folder, and I'll give this name as index.html and save. Perfect. So if I go inside that folder, here as you can see, two files are automatically saved. Now next step is we need to provide all the 4 firmware files into a folder called as firmware. Okay, so let's do that. So now here in the 2G tracker folder, inside the build folder, I already created a separate folder called as firmware, in which all the 4 important binary files are saved. So I'll simply copy this complete folder and will paste it inside this one. Perfect. So yeah, we are done with index, we are done with manifest, we are done with the firmware file, and we need to add a folder in which we can add our logo, but that's an optional thing, so I'll skip it as of now. I don't want to do that. Perfect. After adding all those files, we just need to upload files into our GitHub repository. Now how to do that? Well, for that you can go to the GitHub desktop application. As you can see, all the files are automatically detected here. I'll just give it a summary that updated files. Later I'll commit 6 files to main and I'll click on publish repository. Now here we need to make this repository public, so I'll uncheck this box and click on publish repository. This will publish this particular folder into my GitHub account, and it's done. And let's cross check it. So here I'll open up github.com/techiesms, press enter, and here if I click on repository, as you can see, I got a new repository called as real-time GPS tracker Flasher, and inside that repository I should be able to see all the file which I uploaded, and here it is, all the files are here. So that step is done, and now we need to make this GitHub repository as a page which can be accessed by anyone using a web browser, in which we can see that index.html page basically. Okay, so how to do that? Well, for that you can just click on settings, later go down and click on pages. Now here make sure it is selected as deploy from a branch. Later in the branch just select as main, and here just select as root and click on the save button. So yeah, this thing is saved. Now I'll go back to my repository page, and here as you can see there is an orange icon which says there are some tasks which are being performed, so we need to wait for that. So let's wait for it, and once this process is done, we'll be able to see a URL using which we can access our Flasher page. Okay, so it says all checks have passed, 3 successful checks done. I think we are done with all the things. Now I'll go back to settings once again to see the URL. I'll go to pages, and here is the link on which our website is live. Okay, so I'll copy this URL, and you can access, like anyone in any corner of the world can access this URL and get access of our web Flasher. So I'll paste that link and press enter, and here it is, real-time GPS tracker browser based firmware installer for XIAO ESP32C3. And here are the device information, real-time GPS tracker, board supported, chip family, and the creator name. Okay, and here we have a watch tutorial video button as well. So if I click here, it should open up my YouTube tutorial video, and yes, it started playing that particular tutorial video. But anyways, this is the complete web page, you can say. And let me tell you, this web page or web flasher is only supported in Chrome and Edge browser, which must be mentioned here. Okay, Chrome and Microsoft Edge. Okay, Opera and Chromium based browsers are also supported, but here as of now I'm using it in Safari, and Safari is not at all supported. But anyways, everything is done. Now it's time to test out this web flasher, like does it able to flash the actual board or not. So now let me grab that hardware, and later I'll open this link in the Chrome browser and let me show you the demo. Okay, so here I opened this same web page in my Chrome browser, and here I connected this GPS tracker board based on XIAO C3 with my computer via data cable, like Type-C data cable. Now what I'll do is I'll just click on the connect button, and here it will open up this particular pop-up window where I need to select the right COM port on which this board is connected with. Later I'll click on the connect button. It is connecting as of now. Okay, so now it gives us two options. One is to install the real-time GPS tracker firmware, and second, logs and console. That means kind of a serial monitor. So as of now, I'll click on install real-time GPS tracker, and I do want to erase built-in firmware of this device before flashing the new one. So I'll just check mark this box, click on next, and click on install button, and it's that simple. It will soon start. Okay, as you can see, it started erasing the firmware, and now it started flashing the new firmware. And it was pretty quick because it doesn't take much time for compiling, or rather it doesn't take any time for compiling. It is straight flashing the new board. Now I think it's verifying, and yes, installation complete. Click on next, and now I can click on logs and console, and it will open up the serial monitor. And here let's just click on reset device, which will reset this board. And now yes, I started getting the serial data here on the browser itself. That means the flash was successfully erased. It flashed the new firmware, and it's working as well. Super fast, super quick, and without installing any separate software, without worrying about any kind of library version, no compiling errors, nothing. And that's how, by following all these steps, you can create your own web-based flasher tool for any of your custom project, and later you can give the link to your audience, to your clients, and they can easily flash the firmware. And the best part is, in case if I have some changes in the firmware, like if I do require to change or modify the code, I can modify it, get the compiled binary files and push those binary files into my GitHub repository, and it will be updated here in the web flasher as well. And next time when the client flashes the firmware, that will be new and updated firmware. So giving updates is also quite simple with this particular process. So yeah, that was a complete video that teaches you how you can build your own web flasher. I hope you liked this video. I hope you got to learn something new from it. If is it so, consider liking this video and share your thoughts down in the comments. Was this method useful, and will you be trying this out for your next project or maybe previous project as well? Do share your thoughts down in the comments. And yeah, with that being said, I'm just ending this video here, and now just wait for my next video, and then explore, learn, share with me, techiesms.